My Lords, I rise with pleasure to join the three other proposers of Amendment 49. I apologise for not taking part in the second reading of the bill, but as my noble friend Baroness Jones of Molescombe said then, I have two very specific issues that the only ones I'll be dealing with, and this, of course, is one of them. I'm going to take, I think the case for this amendment has already been overwhelmingly made, so I'm not going to repeat what's already been said. But I am going to take your Lordship's House back to the House in December 2021, when I actually called a vote on whether Part 4 should be part of the Police Crime Sentencing and Courts Act as it became of 2022. I said then that this was a moral issue to have a piece of the legislation explicitly targeting Gypsy, Roma and Traveller people and what it was doing to them was such a moral issue that it could not be allowed to drift by. And I note that the first on the list of the people supporting me in that vote was the Right Reverend Prelate, the Bishop of Manchester. There were 4 crossbench members who supported that, including Lord Alton, Baroness Grey-Thompson and Baroness Alone. There were 9 Labour members who supported me in that vote, and I thank all of them. People can consult the list. And I see 54 Liberal Democrats, so I thank them very much for supporting me then and for hearing the strong words from the noble lady Baroness Bakewell now. But I think it is worth looking back to the debate then, because at the second reading then, the then Conservative minister said, "Oh, we have to have this, we're delivering on a manifesto commitment." Now, I understand, I believe, I very much hope that maintaining Part 4 of this bill was not a Labour manifesto commitment, and this is an opportunity for them to undo something that the previous Tory government did that absolutely should be undone and could be done very simply, as the noble lady Baroness Whittaker, who's so much your Lordship's House's champion on issues of Gypsy, Roma and Traveller people over such a long period of time, and she leads all of us who follow that path so well. This is a chance to very simply and clearly do something that needs to be done. I'll also go back to the discussion around that time, and I note that the noble Lord Dubbs, not currently unfortunately in his place, but the noble Lord wrote a very powerful piece for The Independent opposing Part 4, what we're essentially undoing here. And like the Bishop, the Right Reverend Prelate, Lord Dubbs, who of course is a kinder transport survivor himself, was thinking of the situation of Gypsy, Roma and Traveller children. They could see their worldly possessions wheeled away, their warmth and their shelter seized, their parents potentially imprisoned. And that is what this part of the bill that we're seeking to remove actually does. I will just also point out that in April, a coalition of 22 civil society groups, including Amnesty International, Liberty, Quakers in Britain, Homeless Link, and of course Fringe Families and Travellers, wrote to the policing minister in the other place, calling for essentially what this amendment does. The noble lady Baroness Whittaker has already made these points, but it is worth noting that the High Court has ruled previously that parts of this Act are incompatible, parts of this Act this amendment relates to, incompatible with the Human Rights Act, and the Council of Europe Commissioner for Human Rights, the Joint Committee on Human Rights, the UN Committee on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination, and the UN Committee on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights have all raised concerns or made formal recommendations to the UK government. So, my Lords, this is a very simple, very clear, very effective mechanism by which the government can do the right thing. Surely it's going to seize this chance to do that, if not right from the dispatch box this evening before we get to report stage. But if we get to report stage, then I think we would have to bring this before the House again to make a decision, because this is simply unconscionable to leave this in the bill, in the Act.